Hello, fans, and welcome to This Day in Baseball, where we're going to bring you a full radio broadcast of today's game. And before we do that, I just want to thank Classic Baseball Radio, and there's a link in the notes where you can check out their full channel. They have many great radio broadcasts. And while you're listening to today's game, if you want to check out much more about the game and the players, look on the links below, and you're going to see links to player pages, the date the game happened, the year it happened, and the play-by-play. Enjoy the game, and check out the links while you're watching the game, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that every time new content comes out, you're going to get that firsthand. And thank you again for checking out This Day in Baseball, and enjoy the game.
For $5, Steele buys 2 pairs of sturdy children's shoes or ladies' dress flats.
Hello again, everybody.
Head for the hill.
Carries a beautiful Busch Stadium in St. Louis, where the National League season is scheduled to end today, but you never know. The St. Louis Cardinals against the New York Mets. Galen Cisco for the Mets and Curt Simmons for the St. Louis Cardinals. And our guest on the Dugout Show, one of the great men of baseball, the manager of the Mets, Casey Stengel. You'll hear from Casey in just one moment.
Head for the hills for shoes with style.
Self-service. Our guest on the Dugout Show, Met manager Casey Stengel. Casey, I'm sure that you realize everybody in the world of sports was happy to hear that you're going to be back as manager next year.
Yes, that's true. I have received many telegrams of friends that have been pulling for me most all my life, and from a baseball standpoint since, that are interested in my years as a player and, I would say, managerial career. I'd have to say that was for a number of people that are elderly and that had seen me play baseball, and also saw that I was rather successful as a manager a number of years.
You never lose your enthusiasm for the game. You get older, like everybody else gets older, too, for that matter, but you never lose your zest, Casey.
Well, no, I feel healthy enough. I'm strong enough. I'm quick enough. And if you feel all right, you ought to stay managing. And if you are a man that doesn't feel well, you shouldn't stay managing in the major leagues. You should decide, let somebody else do it, because a well man always does a better job.
Casey, going into a series like this with one of the teams fighting for a pennant, do you give your team any pep talk before the series started?
Well, I did first day. We went over the hitters. Naturally, you should do that. You should try to win every day that you're been in the league. And up to this year, we've had so many difficulties to play a number of the teams. The only team that I think that we bothered was Cincinnati. And in the last series, Cincinnati came in and caught us playing very poor baseball, and they actually put them back in the pennant race. And then when they come here to St. Louis, this club here is a good baseball club, well managed, and the players are terrific players. And I believe that in this series, the first game, it was just unfortunate that hard-hit balls were caught by my receivers, and the pitcher, Jackson, pitched too marvelous a game when it was 1-0. The game yesterday, everybody knows that the Cardinals had an off day, and you can't catch, the pitching had to be poor, because you can't go up into the grandstand and catch the ball. And therefore, that's where they were handicapped yesterday.
Casey, in all your years, can you remember a race where 3 teams went into the final day with a chance?
No, I have been in one game, 1 year, I think it was 49, when I was with the Yankees, in which the Red Sox were a game ahead of me, and then we evened it up, and we took 2. We had to play a series, and we took 2 out of 3 and just nosed them out of the pennant.
Casey, which of these 3 teams that are still fighting it out for the pennant do you think would have the best chance against the Yankees in the World Series?
Well, to tell you the truth, I think that all 3 clubs will only be handicapped with one thing, and that's the fact that they've had to extend their pitching staff too much at the end of a season. Now, that really could affect the National League club. But I honestly believe that your club here at St. Louis will give them a splendid battle, because you're skilled in a number of ways and have speed. And I think Cincinnati would do a splendid job in the World Series. I really figure that that's just would be great if they could have 4 or 5 days rest to rest their pitching set.
especially if there's a playoff, then the Yankees ought to be in a great shape.
Well, if there is a playoff, yes, they'd get to rest maybe too long, although they don't allow you to rest too long. They make you work out every day of the World Series and keep you on edge.
Casey, do you see the Mets coming out of the wilderness for next year?
Well, yes, I do in some ways. We get more home runs than we did last year or the year before. We got younger personnel on the team. I think McMillan has helped our ball club. At shortstop, he's kept our pitching better. And I think that Hunt is a very good ball player. He was voted by the ball players as the best second baseman for this season. And I honestly believe that Hickman is a very good man and capable in the outfield, can hit balls distance. Christopher now is a much better batter than he ever was in his life. He used to could only play against left-handed pitching, and now I think he's very splendid. He can hit some of the right-handed pitchers better than anybody that's on our staff. I would have to say that he's a much improved batter.
Casey, it's a challenge to a ball club who's not in the race to be able to play one of the contenders and have a hand in deciding who wins it.
Why, yes, but you really have to go out there and put out. The man is supposed, when he signs a contract, to play until the last day in the ninth inning, and that's the reason why our club, maybe at this year time, is doing very good. We lost 2 games in Milwaukee, I thought, because we didn't have the ability. But I think here, Jackson just was a little too great to allow your club to get on bases and handicap us.
Casey, a million thanks for this chat, and continued success to you. And last time I mentioned that I was going to give you a bull of a 17-jewel watch that told you the time of the day and the time of the month. You also asked me if it would tell you the time to take your picture out, and I hope you have to take several pictures out today.
That's good. If I was you, I'd have that same feel.
Okay.
The air. Presented by Busch Bavarian. Aged longer for natural carbonation and full-body taste. Get to know Busch Bavarian. Get to know flavor for the fun of it. And by the American Tobacco Company, makers of Pell Mell famous cigarettes, for those who are particular about taste. Now, it's time for St. Louis Cardinals baseball.
A beautiful baseball day in St. Louis. Hello again, everybody. This is Harry Carey with Jerry Gross, with Roy May in Cincinnati. On the final day of the baseball season, maybe. A perfect day for baseball. The Cardinals, who are tied for first place with the Cincinnati Reds, 1 game ahead of the Philadelphia Phillies, who play the Reds in Cincinnati today. It'll be Cisco for the Mets today, Simmons for the Cardinals. Let's quickly go to Cincinnati and Roy May to see what the pitching situation is over there.
Thank you, Harry, and good afternoon, everyone. In Cincinnati, it's a gorgeous day. A bright sun is shining, the temperature in the 60s. The 2 starting pitchers are warming up far below us. Jim Bunning for the Bills, his record 18-8, and another right-hander, John Saturis, for the Reds. Saturis' record is 9-12. We're going to have a capacity crowd here, and there's a lot of excitement in the air in Cincinnati, as I'm sure there is in St. Louis area.
All right, fine, Roy. We'll be coming back to you. So you got the situation there. There's a surprise. We thought maybe Maloney would pitch for the Reds, but John Saturis, who shut the Phillies out 1-0 last week in Philadelphia, will be pitching for Cincinnati. And here it'll be Curt Simmons pitching for the Cardinals and Galen Cisco for the New York Mets. And we'll be back with the starting lineups and then the exciting play-by-play in just 1 moment.
When the day's been tough and the going's been hard, and brother, you're just resting and you need a reward, well, gather round friends and neighbors, the time is surely here to enjoy toe tapping goodness, the Busch Bavarian beer. This is Carl Smith. I'd like to tell you, friend, that you just can't buy a better beer. Yes, sir, bushes age longer for natural carbonation. And by golly, good buddy, Bush is brewed the way that beer was meant to be brewed, the natural way. So get Bush, it's so tapping good. So enjoy old tapping goodness with Bush Bavarian beer. With Bush Bavarian beer.
The umpires are coming down the line in a moment. Johnny Keane, the Cardinal manager, Casey Stengel, the New York Met manager, who is our guest on the Dugout Show, will be coming out to exchange the official batting orders. Here now to give you the lineups for today's game and bring you up to date is Jerry Gross.
All right, Harry, thank you very much. The wind, we might mention right now, is blowing from the left field corner toward the right field line, and it would help a ball hit up toward the right field bleachers out toward center, possibly blow it out. It could be a big factor in this afternoon's ball game. A look at the lineups in the ball game for Casey Stengel's Mets. Leading off, and at second base, it'll be Bobby Klaus. Klaus in the leadoff position. Roy McMillan will hit second. He'll be the shortstop. Batting third, and a man who has ripped us all year long, Joe Christopher, the right-handed hitting right fielder in this afternoon's game. Batting in the cleanup spot, it will be Jim Hickman. Hickman, a former Cardinal. Hickman will be in center field. He'll hit cleanup. In the fifth spot, the third baseman, Charlie Smith. Smith batting fifth down at third. Bob Taylor, the Hawk, will be the catcher for Stengel's Mets. He'll be catching Galen Cisco. Taylor batting sixth, working behind the plate. Ed Cranepool, who has really hurt us in this series so far and hurt us all year long, as Harry has mentioned, batting seventh. Cranepool will be the first baseman. And George Altman in left field. Altman hitting eighth in the order, out in left. Galen Cisco, with a record of 6 victories and 18 setbacks, will start on the mound for Stengel's crew. His record against the Redbirds this year, 1 victory and 1 setback. His earned run average on the season, 3.45. So Cisco, the right-hander, warming up down the right field line prior to the ball game. Simmons already has concluded his warm-ups to our left, down the left field lineup, and let's now take a look at the Cardinals starting lineup. Manager Johnny Keane will go with Curt Flood leading off in center. Lou Brock out in left field, batting second. White will hit third. He'll be at first. There go the Cardinals in the final game of the regular season, 1964. Captain Kenny Boyer will be hitting cleanup at third. Dick Groat bats sixth, or rather fifth, and will be at shortstop. Tim McCarver will be catching. Mike Shannon out in right field. Dal Maxwell playing in place of the injured Julian Javier, who hurt his back in the ball game yesterday. Dal Maxwell will have the job at second base. He'll be batting eighth. And Curt Simmons is out on the mound to start for the Cardinals. He's 18-9, 1-2 against the Mets. Right now, the capacity crowd, our national anthem. Singing the national anthem. Before we give you the play-by-play, we'll take 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Cardinals Baseball Network.
KMOX and KMOX FM St. Louis. Wet weather brings mosquitoes out. Repel mosquitoes with Camicide repellent, the safe repellent. Camicide with four-way repellent action.
This is Jerry Gross with Harry Carey back at Busch Stadium. The wind 16 miles an hour blowing out from left field, the line toward the right field line. We're set to go with the final game of the regular season, and here to bring you all the exciting action, the voice of the Cardinals, here's Harry Carey.
Okay, Jerry, a beautiful day, and we're all set to go. Curt Simmons, who's pitched good ball against the Mets all year long, and Galen Cisco, who's done likewise against the St. Louis Cardinals. Simmons has won 1 and lost 2. He lost to the Mets 4-3 on a 2-out ninth-inning home run, July the 9th, and 3-2 on July 19th here in St. Louis. He beat the Mets 2-1 September the 22nd in New York. Galen Cisco lost to the Cardinals 5-1 May the 9th, beat them 2-1 on September the 23rd. A tough right-hander who always has pitched well against the Cardinals. Eddie Vargo, the plate umpire, we're all set to go. Well, let's see if everybody's equipped with their transistors. You got transistors around? Okay, we'll keep you posted then. All set to go, and here is Bobby Klaus, hitting .221. 4 homers and 16 runs batted in. Curt Simmons gets ready. The wind, as Jerry told you, blowing strongly towards right field. Here's the pitch on the way. And it's a fastball outside. It'll be Klaus, McMillan, and Christopher here in the first. The Mets have won the first 2 games of the series. The National League race is in a 2-team tie. Here's the pitch on the way. Klaus takes a strike over the outside corner, belt high. And that evens it up, a ball and a strike. The St. Louis football Cardinals lead the Washington Redskins 14-10 in the second period. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bobby Klaus, who hit a home run yesterday. Curt Simmons getting ready. Into the windup, the pitch on the way. There's a fly ball, right field. Flood way back. He's there. He's going to make the catch. He does. Oh, that ball got up into the wind, which is blowing strongly towards right field. Now, Simmons, being a left-handed pitcher, will have an advantage so far as nullifying the left-handed batters in the Met lineup. The Cardinals will be facing a right-hander, so their left-handed batters, Brock, White, and McCarver, will be helped by the wind. Here's the pitch now to Roy McMillan. And it's a fastball, strike call, hit the outside corner at the knee. 1 strike and no ball. Electricity in the air, you could cut it with a knife. A supercharged afternoon in St. Louis. 1 strike, no ball, the windup, the pitch on the way. Here it is. Strike 2 call. Fastball at the knee. A lot of possibilities. The Cardinals could win the pennant today. The Cardinals could lose the pennant today. The Cardinals could finish in a 2-way tie today. The Cardinals could finish in a 3-way tie today. 2 strikes, no balls, the pitch on the way. Here it is. A little low. And outside. 2 strikes and a ball. 1 out in the first. Roy McMillan, the veteran shortstop, batting .214 with 1 homer and 25 runs batted in. Now the wind, here's the pitch on the way. A bouncing ball fouled on the third base line. Wes Westrom coaching over there. 2 strikes and a ball. Robinson coaching at first, Westrom at third. 1 out, nobody on. The ball game at the top of the first inning. Here's Simmons winding. The pitch is on the way. Slow curve, foul back out of play into the stands. First souvenir of the day. 2 strikes and a ball. The Yankees clinched their pennant yesterday. They know they're going to be in the World Series, but the National League doesn't know yet. Any one of 3 ball clubs might play the Yankees. 2 strikes and a ball, 1 out, nobody on. McMillan, the hitter. Here's Simmons into the windup. Here's the pitch on the way. It's a little bit outside. Just barely missed the strike zone. The Phils went down in order in the top of the first at Cincinnati. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. McMillan, the batter. Now the signal given. Into the windup. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on. A little pop fly. Short right field. Coming in for it. It's Shannon. He's there. He's got it. McMillan popped to Shannon and right. That's 2 out. Seems strange not to see Javier at second base. But he injured his hip yesterday. And Darryl Maxville is playing in his place. In fact, Javier might be sidelined for several days. 2 men are out. Joe Christopher, the batter, hitting .301 with 16 homers and 76 runs batted in. Simmons gets set. The windup now, the pitch is on the way. Slow curve, he bunts down the third base line, and it's going to be a base hit. Beautiful bunt, he picked the perfect pitch. On a change of pace, Christopher bunted down the third base line. There was no play at all, it's a hit. He bunted that way in the first inning yesterday and beat it out to load the bases. Simmons has won his last 5 decisions. In fact, his last 6 decisions. But this ball club gives him trouble. Here's Jim Hickman with 11 homers and 57 RBIs, batting .259. Now the stretch from the belt, the pitch. Here it is. It's a fastball low, ball 1. 1 ball to no strike. Hickman, yesterday, had a couple of hits. Drove in 2 runs in the first inning. Now the stretch by Simmons. Here's the pitch. A capacity crowd on hand. A dramatic setting for the final game of the season. Final game, maybe. 1 ball, 1 strike. The stretch. The pitch. A high pop fly. We're going to be out of the first inning, I think. Maxville is out. Shannon coming in. And he's got the ball. Hickman. Pop to Shannon in short right. 1 hit, no runs, no errors. 1 left. We go into the bottom half of the first inning. No score in the ball game.
Particular about taste? You bet I'm particular, and my Pell-Mells prove it. Particular about taste?
You bet I'm particular, and my Pell-Mells prove it.
You hear it everywhere. Why? Because Pell-Mells natural mildness means just one thing: smooth, pleasing flavor.
Particular people take particular pleasure in the good taste of Pell-Mell. The flavors blended over, under, around, and through to bring that particular good taste to you. So get particular pleasure like particular people do in the good taste of Pell-Mell.
Be particular. Smoke a long cigarette that's long on flavor. Buy Pell-Mell Famous Cigarettes. Outstanding. And they are mild. From the American Tobacco Company.
Before Curt Flood leads off, let's go to Cincinnati. Roy, anything happening?
No score here in the bottom of the first inning. Nobody on, and there's 1 out with Chico Ruiz, the batter. And by the way, as in St. Louis, there's a rather stiff breeze blowing toward the right field here, and it should be a definite help to the left-handed hitters. We might see a few in the right field bleachers today.
So there, the wind condition is the same as here, with the right field section having the wind advantage. All right, here is Curt Flood to lead it off, batting .311 for the season. And this little fellow's had some year, 210 hits. Galen Cisco on the hill. He has won. His record isn't a good one, but he pitches tough baseball. He's won 6, lost 18. All set to go. Former Ohio State University star. Curt Flood with 4 homers and 45 runs batted in, hitting .311. Into the windup, the pitch on the way. The curveball in there, a strike called, a good overhanded curve. 1 strike and no ball. Busch Bavarian Beer, your host. What an exciting finish. 3 teams with a chance to win the pennant on the final day. Here's the pitch. Curve a little bit outside, that evens it up. Again, Cisco came with the overhanded curveball. Bob Hawk Taylor from Metropolis, Illinois, behind the plate for the Mets, goes out to talk to Galen Cisco. Right-handed batter digging in. Vern Benson coaching at third. Joe Schultz at first. Now the sign given. 1 ball, 1 strike. Into the windup. Here's the pitch on the way. It's a fastball, low ball, 2. 2 balls and a strike. The wind blowing towards right field as we have to keep repeating because it might be a factor. 2 balls and a strike. Galen Cisco delivers. Here it is. There's a line drive in the center, but it's going to be caught. Hickman is there, and he has it. Flood line to Hickman in center. That's 1 out. Here's Lou Brock. Here's a guy who could take advantage of that wind. Batting .314 with 14 homers, 58 runs batted in. Left-hand batter up there. Lou Brock. His left wrist is taped. The wind blows strongly towards the pavilion roof. Now the wind. Here's the pitch on the way to Brock, and it's low. Roy May quickly. What happened in the bottom of the first?
The Reds went down in order, so at the end of 1, there is no score here in Cincinnati.
All right, no score at the end of 1 in Cincinnati, as you heard. Here's the pitch on the way. Brock hits a base hit up the middle. A ground ball in the center field. And Brock is on there. He's going to try for second. Here's a throw. He's in there. Jim Hickman momentarily fumbled the ball, and Brock never did hesitate. Probably be a hit in an air. That's what it is. Lou Adamy was looking forward to doing his 5th World Series. If the Redbirds make it, the scoreboard operator flashes the air sign. So we have a man in scoring position with 1 out. Boy, Hickman with a great arm, you know, just momentarily fumbled the ball, and Brock never did hesitate. That indicates there's no pressure when you can do things like that. Here's Bill White, batting .302, 20 homers, 100 RBIs. Listen to this crowd. The fervor is building up early. The pitch to White. Here it is. A line drive to the shortstop, who leaps and makes the catch. White line to McMillan, who leaped to grab the ball. And here's Boyer hitting .294. Boyer with 24 homers and 118 runs batted in. Batting .294. White hit his ball good, but right at McMillan, the shortstop, who leaped and grabbed it. Lou Brock in scoring position. We're in the first inning. Galen Cisco beat the Cardinals 2-1 the last time he faced them. Signal given. Ready for the pitch. Now the stretch and the hesitation. And the pitch is on the way. Here it is. Whoa! Inside almost. Hit him. 1 ball and no strikes. 2 out in the bottom of the first. No score. Kenny Boyer hoping to drive in the first run of the day. There's the stretch. Cisco ready from the belt. And here's the pitch. Inside again. He's crowding him with his fastball. And so, it's 2 balls, no strikes. A runner at second base, 2 out. Beautiful baseball afternoon in St. Louis. Boyer straddles the plate. The stretch, the hesitation. The pitch. Outside, ball 3. 3-0 now on Boyer. Takes a look at Vern Benson. They might turn him loose here. Boyer who can pop that ball into the stands in either direction. 3 balls, no strikes. 2 out. Right-handed batter digging in. Galen Cisco getting ready. Over the head, down to the belt. Here's the pitch. Line drive, foul. into the stands in left field. They turned them loose with 3 balls and no strikes, and the Cardinals certainly haven't approached this game as if they're under any pressure. Brock with daring base running. Kenny Boyer allowed to hit a 3-0 pitch, which he hit hard but foul. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 out, a man in scoring position, first inning. Like to get out in front of these fellows once. Now the sign. The last 3 games the Mets have won have all been from the Cardinals. They beat us 2-1 on the 23rd in New York, and then lost 8 in a row, and then won the first 2 games of the series. So the only team they have beaten in 2 weeks are the Cardinals. 3 balls, 1 strike. Hawk Taylor talking to Galen Cisco. Beautiful afternoon. Just absolutely perfect. An Indian summer day. Bright, warm, brilliant sunshine with a delightfully cool, invigorating breeze. A ballpark jam-packed. A dramatic setting for the final game of the season. 3 balls and a strike, the stretch. And the pitch now to Boyer. Strike 2, a curveball hit the outside corner. He didn't like it. And now it's 3-2. That was a curve that Cisco broke overhanded. Dick Grote would be next. Boyer up there. A runner in scoring position and 2 out. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Cisco gets set. Brock a lead. The crowd anxious for a base hit. Now the stretch, the hesitation. From the belt. And the pitch. Ball 4, he walked in. Cardinals have runners at first and second with 2 out. Here's Dick Grote, who can put us out in front. Grote hitting .291. With 1 homer and 69 runs batted in. Grote hits the ball deep in the right center. And he's a home run threat today, the way the wind is blowing. Because any ball hit deep in that direction is going to be carried well. Now the stretch. From the belt. The pitch to Grote, here it is. It's a strike over the outside corner at the knee. Dick Grote, veteran shortstop, right-handed batter. Runners at first and second and 2 out. Now the signal given. The hesitation. The pitch on the way. Sliced foul out of play. He's in the hole, strike 2. He was trying to go into right field, but Cisco threw the ball inside to him, which made it difficult, and he hit the ball off his fists. Mayor Tucker sitting down in the Cardinal box with Mr. and Mrs. Bush. 2 strikes, no balls. Right-handed hitter digging in. Galen Cisco ready. Now the stretch. Grote in the hole, 2 strikes and nothing. The pitch from the belt. And here it is. Ooh, boy, barely missed the strike zone. Anything going on quickly in Cincinnati, Roy?
There is now 1 man on as Cotton Shockley just dropped a single into left field. There's 1 out, and Tony Taylor will be the batter.
All right, so the Phillies are batting in the second inning with 1 on, 1 out. Here is Dick Grote with a count of 2 strikes and a ball. Signal given. Runners at first and second. Galen Cisco gets ready. Here's the pitch on the way. Outside curve. Ball 2. And the count evens at 2-2. Galen Cisco trying to hit those corners. Just barely missed that time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This fellow, once he gets you leaning, will jam you with his fastball, as he did on the second strike to Groth. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Right-hand hitter waits. Now the stretch from the belt. The pitch to Groth. And here it is. A bouncing ball. This inning might be over. The pitcher's going to have to cover. There's the toss, and he is out. Groth bounces out from Cranepool to Cisco. And it is no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. At the end of 1 in St. Louis, the Cardinals nothing, the Mets nothing. We go to the top of the second inning here. And Charlie Smith, who's a home run threat, he's hit 19 of them this year, steps up to the plate. Batting .240 with 57 RBI. Right-hand hitter digging in. No score. We go into the second inning. Curt Simmons gets set into the windup. The pitch is on the way. There's a high pop fly going towards left field. Groth goes out, calls for the ball. He's under it. He's got it, 1 away. Charlie Smith popped to Groth in short left. 1 out, and that'll bring up Bob Taylor, nicknamed Hawk, from Metropolis, Illinois. Ed Cranepool would be next. Right-handed batter up there, Taylor. Cardinals on their half of the second will lead off with McCarver, Shannon, and Maxfield. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball low and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Curt Simmons trying for his 19th victory. Now the wind, the pitch. And here it is. It's a strike over the outside corner. He threaded the needle that time. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 man out. Here's the pitch on the way. Slow curve outside. 2 balls and a strike. Bob Taylor, the hitter. We're in the second inning. Now the signal given. Here's the pitch on the way. There's a drive way back in the left center. It may. Brock makes a sensational catch. Holy cow, unbelievable. Lou Brock, a backhanded shoestring catch in left center. A remarkable play, 2 away. Holy cow, I've never seen one to match that. He didn't seem to have a chance, and the wind is blowing the other way, taking the ball away from him. He just outran the ball. A spectacular backhanded shoestring catch in deep left center while running at full speed. Here's Eddie Cranepool now. Left-hand hitter. The wind, the pitch on the way. Lined into short center. Flood coming on. He's there. The inning is over. So the Mets go down 1-2-3 thanks to a remarkable play. Listen to the hand that Brock is getting as he comes in here. Listen. And it's nothing across at the end of an inning and a half. No score in this ball game.
Keep your eyes open, friend. If it hasn't happened yet, it's bound to happen soon. You'll see a sleek, elegant new car you don't recognize. You'll find yourself wondering what it is. And I'll tell you right now to save you the worry. The big, beautiful car is the all-new Mercury for 1965. You've never seen a Mercury like this before because there's never been a Mercury like this before. It's longer, more luxurious, clearly in the Continental tradition. And once you get a chance to look it over closely, once you take it out for a test drive, you'll know right off there's nothing like it in the medium price field. See, drive, admire the all-new Mercury for $65 at your nearest St. Louis area Mercury dealer.
Just to give you an idea about the excitement that exists here. The scoreboard man in the top of the second for the Mets made nothing. He put the bottom of the second up before he put the top of the second up. Who's excited? Here's McCarver to lead it off. Tim could take advantage of this breeze. We're in the bottom half of the second inning, a game marked by a remarkable catch by Lou Brock. Now the signal given. Here's the windup and the pitch on the way. It's a curveball into the dirt, ball one. One ball, no strike. It's 0-0 at the end of one in Cincinnati. In a moment, we'll flash to Roy May over there. One ball, no strike. Left-handed batter waiting, Tim McCarver. Here's the pitch by Cisco. It's a strike call. Quickly, Roy, anything happen in the top of the second?
We're at going into the bottom of the second now, Harry. There's still no score. The Reds coming to bat with Robinson, Johnson, and Edwards.
All right, no score at the end of an inning and a half in Cincinnati. Tim McCarver with a count of 1 ball, 1 strike. Left-handed batter hitting .284. The pitch on the way. Ball inside. Just barely missed the inside corner. Galen Cisco pitches to good spots. 2 balls and a strike. Mike Shannon will be next. We're in the second inning, no score. That's the way it is in Cincinnati with the Phillies and the Reds. Now the sign given, 2 balls, 1 strike. The windup, here's the pitch on the way. A hot shot, it's fair ball down the left field line. Here's McCarver around first. He's going to go to second with a double. He hit the ball right off the bag. A double for McCarver. He didn't get around on that ball, and he hit it off the end of the bat. He didn't really hit it hard. It hit the bag fair and trickled into the Cardinal bullpen in left field. So the Cardinals have a leadoff double here in the second.
He hit that ball, Harry, right off his right hip. Actually, it looked as though the ball might have shot in and it would have been a ball. But he hit it off the hip, unlocked himself somehow, and we have a runner on second with nobody out.
And Mike Shannon will be the batter here. The Cardinals trying to break out in front, something they haven't been able to do. Neither one of these 2 games previously in the series. Lost 1-0 Friday night, 15-5 yesterday. Here's the stretch. And now the pitch on the way. He's foul tips at strike 1. Mike Shannon hitting .262. He's had 9 homers and 42 runs batted in. The Reds are batting in the bottom of the second at Cincinnati with no score. The Cardinals are batting in the bottom of the second in St. Louis with no score. 1 strike and no ball. Now the signal given. Right-hand batter waiting. Galen Cisco, broad-shouldered right-hander. Takes his time, gets his sign. Now from the belt. The pitch is on the way. Folds it back, trying to hit the right field. 2 strikes and no balls. He's in the hole now. McCarver led off with a double. Shannon up there now. With Dal Maxwell due next, followed by Curt Simmons, who's not a bad hitting pitcher. Last of the second inning. Right-hand hitter digging in. Cisco, a very methodical, deliberate worker out there. He's in no hurry. Got nothing to do after today until next spring. 2 strikes and no balls. Now the sign. Takes a lot of time. He's ready now from the belt. And here's the pitch on the way. There's a line drive to left field. It's going to drop in there for a base hit. Here's a runner around third base. He's going to try to score. Here's a throw to the plate. He is safe. There's Shannon trying for second. He is out. Shannon singles to left, scoring McCarver. But he's out, trying to take second on a throw to the plate, which was cut off by the third baseman, Charlie Smith, and fired down to Bobby Klaus. So the Cardinals are out in front, 1-0 on Shannon's 43rd run batted in. Let's pause quickly. This is the Cardinals Baseball Network.
KMOX and KMOX-FM St. Louis.
Concrete and steel are important to progress. They move from mine to mill to market on Wabash Cannonball wheels. In the heart of America, progress is served by Wabash Cannonball Freight Service.
This is Harry Carey with Jerry Gross at Busch Stadium in St. Louis with Roy May in Cincinnati covering the pennant fight for you. Maxfield takes the first pitch outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's a pitch. Sidearm, and it's bounce foul. 1-0 in favor of the Cardinals. Well, our friends over the dollhouse sent over a Redbird cushion or pillow. And we're using it. Maybe it'll bring us some luck today. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's a pitch on the way. Maxfield swings and pops up. Easy out. Second baseman there. Hey, the wind almost gave him trouble, and Klaus had to make a one-handed stab. 2 out now, and here's Curt Simmons, the pitcher. 1-0 in favor of the Redbirds. We're in the bottom of the second. It's the first time in this 3-game series that the Cardinals have ever led. With a victory, the Cardinals are sure of at least a tie. If they win, the very worst they can do is play in Cincinnati tomorrow. And the best they could do would be to have clinched the pennant. Here's a pitch to Simmons. He fouled it back. If the Cardinals win and the Reds lose, the Cardinals will be the National League champion. If the Cardinals win and the Reds win, there'll be a playoff in Cincinnati starting tomorrow, with the second game here Tuesday, and the third game, if necessary, here Wednesday. Here's a pitch. Strike call, the fastball. 2 strikes and no ball. A double by McCarver and a single by Shannon has given the Cardinals the lead here in the second inning. Now the wind. Here's the pitch on the way. A little outside. And the count, 2 strikes and a ball. There's no score at Cincinnati with the Reds batting in the second. 2 strikes, 1 ball. Left-handed batter waits. Galen Cisco gets set. The wind, and here's the pitch on the way. A bouncing ball to the left of the third baseman, a great stop, and now the throw. He is out as Cranepool made a one-handed pickup of the low throw. So there was a fine play all the way around. 1 run, 2 hits. No errors and nobody left. At the end of 2 innings in St. Louis, the Cardinals won, the Mets nothing. Before we go into the top of the third, let's go to our man in Cincinnati. Right.
All right, Harry, we're now at the end of 2 as Marty Keogh just flies deep to center to retire the side. So we're going into the third. Still no score in Cincinnati.
Okay, nothing up there, so we're a little bit better off. We're leading 1-0. Here is George Altman to lead it off against Simmons, and the first pitch is right at his head, and he ducks out of the way. Ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Nobody on and nobody out. The ball game in the third. Boy, a spectacular play by Lou Brock. Robbed Bob Taylor of at least a double and perhaps a triple. There's the pitch on the way. Altman foul tips it back. He was really trying to pull that ball into the wind. Altman with 9 homers and 47 runs batted in, hitting .229. George has been hobbled with injuries. Here's a pitch he was going to bunt. Low and outside. 2 balls and a strike. Left-hand hitter digging in. George Altman. The pitch by Simmons. A bouncing ball fouled on the first base line. Anything happening up there, Roy, while we have a second? So now Bunning and then the top of their batting order coming up for the Phillies in the third. They have a packed house there, too. George Altman, the batter, 2 balls, 2 strikes. We're in the third. Curt Simmons gets ready. Into the windup. Here's the pitch on the way. A fastball a little bit low and inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes on the left-hand hitter. George Altman. Top half of the third inning. Now the wind, the pitch. A tap foul again. Went after a fastball. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Top of the third inning. Hope you're enjoying a cold bottle of Busch Bavarian beer right about now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The wind, here's the pitch on the way. Fouled it back, trying to go to left field with it. And the count is 3-2.
Larry, the interest here is so great. Every time we open our radio booth door, the transistors which are around the ballpark are giving us quite a feedback. I don't know how we can cure it because they want to hear the ball game too.
3-2 pitch now, swung on and pop foul back, and the count 3 balls, 2 strikes. That's easy. We'll just keep the door closed. Full count of 3-2. Left-handed batter up there. Curt Simmons is set. Here's the pitch on the way. Curve outside, he walked him. So Altman leads off with a walk. That enables the Mets to use their pitcher to sacrifice him along. Galen Cisco coming out. Cisco's had 6 out of 54 as a hitter. He's hit 1 double. He's driven in 4 runs. Right-hand batter digging in. Now the sign. And from the belt, the pitch is on the way. Yay, McCarver drops the ball. The pitch was high. 1 ball, no strike. George Altman, a pretty good runner at first base. White was charging in. Maxwell was coming over to cover. 1 ball, no strikes. Now the signal given. Ready from the belt. The pitch on the way. He's going to bunt. Strike call. A fastball over the outside corner, knee high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kenny Boyer playing a shallow third base. Bright sunshine here. Now the pitch on the way. He bunts, and it's a good one. Simmons has only 1 play, and that's the first base where Maxwell covers. It's a sacrifice. Simmons fumbled the ball, but the old pro that he is, he didn't panic. He knew the pitcher was running down the line, that he had plenty of time, and he made sure that he picked it up on the second grab and threw him out. So they have the tying run in scoring position with only 1 out, and they have Bobby Klaus and Roy McMillan coming up with a chance to drive in the run. We're in the third. Right-hand hitter digging in. There's Simmons getting set. From the belt, the pitch. It's a curve at the knees, a beauty, a strike call. 1 strike and no balls. Wide at first, wide of the bag. Maxwell over near second. They played Klaus to pull. Now Simmons backs off the rubber. 1 strike and no balls. There's the pitch. Low fastball. Simmons, 15 years ago, was on the Philadelphia Philly whiz kid team that won the Pennant. He helped them win the Pennant with 17 victories, but he didn't get to play in the World Series because he was in the service when the series was being played. Here's a strike call to Klaus. 2 strikes and a ball. Simmons pitching the most important game of the year. 2 strikes and a ball. Right-handed batter digging in. We're in the third. The wind blows towards right field, and strongly. Simmons pitch at the belt on the way. Fastball is outside, and that evens it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bobby Klaus, the hitter. He homered yesterday, his 4th of the year. Had a brother named Billy who was in the major leagues. The Red Sox, Phillies, another club. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch on the way. A bouncing ball to Boyer. He should throw him out. There's a long throw to first. He's safe. He rules it. Bill White came off the bag. The throw was a little high. White thought he had his toe on the bag. Altman held second. See how they're going to call that. An infield hit for Klaus. That'll bring up Roy McMillan, who can handle that bat. White thought that that his toe had stayed on the bag, and he argues about it. An infield hit puts runners at first and second with 1 out. The slow hopper to Kenny Boyer. Roy McMillan up there. He can handle that bat. He can hit to the opposite field. Okay, Roy, quickly, anything happen?
In the top of the third inning here, the Phils have men in scoring position at second and third. Johnny Callison will be the batter. There's 1 out, and the Red bullpen is busy with Joe Nuxall, a left-hander, and Joey.
Here's a hot smash. Hit to Boyer. Looks like a double play. To Maxwell 1, the first. 2! McMillan hit into a double play. From Boyer to Maxwell to Bill White. That ball was hit like a bullet on 1 hop right at Kenny Boyer, who executed the double play with a pivot of Maxwell. White ending it at first base. So it is 1 hit, no runs. No errors, and 1 left. We go into the bottom half of the third inning. Cardinals 1, Mets nothing. Well, we go into the bottom half of the third inning. Curt Flood, who lined out to center his first time at bat, will be the hitter. Cardinals leading 1-0. Now the signal given. Galen Cisco is ready. Here's the windup and now the pitch. It's a strike. A good fastball over the outside corner. 1 strike and no ball. Capacity crowd on hand. Looks capacity. 1 strike, no ball. Curt Flood leading off against Galen Cisco. The pitch is on the way. It's a high curveball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Curt Flood, the hitter. Cisco gets set. Now ready. Into the windup. Here's the pitch. Way outside. Quickly to Cincinnati. Roy, anything happen?
Yes, Harry, the Phils have taken the lead. As Russ Covington ripped the single, scoring 2 men.
What's the score, Roy?
2-0 now. In the top of the third, 1 out. The Phils still batting.
2-0 in favor of the Phillies, and they're still batting in the third. Here now is Flood. 2 balls, 1 strike. Oh, what excitement here. Now the windup by Cisco. Here's the pitch on the way. And it's low and inside. Ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Nuxall is now relieving Saturas. In the third inning at Cincinnati. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. He walked him. So we have a runner at first base with nobody out, and here's Lou Brock. Brock singled in the first inning. There was some dazzling base running. Wound up at second when Hickman just momentarily juggled the ball. The third baseman, Smith, comes in shallow, expecting a bunt. Left-handed batter waits. There's the stretch, the hesitation. And the pitch. And a pitch out, nothing happened. 1 ball, no strikes. Lou Brock, the batter. Well, everybody in this ballpark must have a transistor radio. 1 ball, no strike. Now ready, Brock a lead, here's the stretch. Flood a lead, rather. Here's a pitch to Brock, and he foul tips. 1 ball and 1 strike. The third baseman, Charlie Smith, plays in on the edge of the grass. Brock gave no indication of bunting. Flood is the runner at first with nobody out. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the signal given. Ready. Now the stretch, the hesitation. Flood a long lead. The pitch to Brock. Here it is. Strike 2 called over the inside corner. 2 strikes and a ball. And Brock didn't like that. When Eddie Vargo dust off the plate. Now all set to go. The third baseman drops back another step this time. Left-hand hitter, the wind blowing towards right. Brock has power in that direction. Here's the stretch. And the pitch. Way outside. That evens it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A runner at first. We're in the third. Lou Brock waiting. The breeze blows strongly towards right. Galen Cisco takes his time. Into the stretch. From the belt. And the pitch. Outside, ball 3. And it's a full count of 3 and 2, and Flood will be going now. Nobody out. Lou Brock, the hitter. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Cardinals leading 1-0 in the bottom of the third. Phillies leading 2-0 in the top of the third. Over Cincinnati. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Left-hand batter waiting. Signal given. Now the stretch by Galen Cisco. From the belt. The pitch is on the way. Here it is. Swung and foul tipped as the runner was breaking. Quickly, Roy, what's happened?
Runners at first and third. 1 out. Vic Powers, the batter, with a 2-2 count. Phillies lead 2-0.
3 balls, 2 strikes. The ball game in the third. 1-0 in favor of the Cardinals. Now the signal given. Galen Cisco on the hill. Flood will be going with the pitch. The 3-2. Here it is. There he goes. A hot shot to the second baseman. No play at second. He fumbles the ball. Everybody is safe. Bobby Klaus fumbled the ball for an error. And having the runner going on 3 and 2, he was trying to rush it, thinking he could still get the man at second, and he dropped the ball. And when you drop the ball with Brock running, forget about it. So everybody is safe. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Here's Bill White. White lined out to short his first time up. Left-hand hitter waiting. Bill Wakefield has started to warm up in the bullpen for the Mets. Listen to this crowd. Boy, there's frenzied excitement here. Here's the stretch. And the pitch to White. It's inside a slider, ball 1. Oh, if Bill could get hold of one, the way that wind is blowing. 1 ball, no strikes. They want to see the baseball. While they look at it, back to Cincinnati and Roy May.
There are 2 out now with runners at first and second. Tony Taylor just rips the single up the middle. They now lead 3-0.
Good reporting, Roy. Good reporting. As long as you get runs for the Phillies, you're the greatest. 3-0 in favor of the Phillies, and they're still batting in the third at Cincinnati. 1 ball, no strikes on Bill White. And now, Galen Cisco is ready. From the belt, the pitch. It's outside. Ball 2. And Wakefield is down to the bullpen.
Harry, Bill White, in checking the records, has had great success against Cisco. He hit a home run off him earlier in the season and got a two-base hit in an earlier game. 2 for 5 against him going to this one. He hit his first time up, a line drive to the shortstop.
All right, 2 balls, no strikes. Runners at first and second, a stretch. The pitch, a bouncing ball to the first baseman, Cranepool. He's going to throw to second. In time, runners are at first and third. Nice play by Ed Cranepool. So White forces Brock, Cranepool to McMillan. Here's Boyer now with runners at first and third, only 1 out. Oh, we got to win this ball game. Boyer walked his first time up. They're McMillan, the shortstop, talking to Galen Cisco. They're going to play back for the double play. Boyer might try to poke that ball to the opposite field against that defense with Klaus practically standing on second base. Right-handed batter waits. Kenny Boyer waiting. Galen Cisco gets set, the infield back, hoping for a double play. Oh, I'd like to see him slice one into right field. There's the stretch. And the pitch on the way. Double play ball to Klaus. Over to McMillan for 1. Over to first base for 2. From Klaus to McMillan to Cranepool. So it is no runs. No hits, 1 error, 1 left. At the end of 3 here, the Cardinals 1, the Mets nothing. Well, we go into the top of the 4th now. Here comes a 3-up for Philadelphia. Everybody sees it now. Here's a pitch to Christopher, and a slow curve strike is called. 1 strike and no ball. Joe Christopher, who beat out a bunt his first time up. Christopher hitting .301. 16 homers and 76 runs batted in. Simmons gets set. The windup now, the pitch on the way. There's a high pop fly. Short right field. Shannon waiting for the ball. He's got it, 1 out. Christopher fly to Shannon in right. 1 away, and here's Jim Hickman, a power hitter. 11 homers and 57 RBIs, batting .259. He flied out to right his first time up. A balloon comes blowing onto the field. Well, that's how high we'll all be if the Reds lose and the Cardinals win today. Here's the pitch on the way now to Hickman. It's a little bit inside. 1 ball and no strikes. The football Cardinals lead 14-10 at the half. Now the pitch, slow curve, a beauty. That evens it up for the ball and a strike. 1 out, nobody on base. 1-0 in favor of the Cardinals. Would feel a lot better if we could make a few more runs. 1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch on the way. It's a high fastball, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Looking ahead to the Cardinal 4th, it'll be Grote leading off. We had a great chance in the 3rd, but White and Boyer were retired with infield ground ball. 2 balls, 1 strike, the pitch. There's a fly ball, left field, Brock coming over. He's there now. He makes the catch. Hickman fly to Brock and left. And here's Charlie Smith. Popped up his first time up, right-handed batter. We're in the top of the 4th. Let's pause quickly for a cold bottle of Busch Bavarian beer. This is the Cardinals Baseball Network.
KMOX and KMOX-FM, St. Louis.
Only DX gasoline contains the element boron. Fill up with
DX Super Boron. Drive a car that's alive.
This is Harry Carey with Jerry Gross in St. Louis, and now to Cincinnati and Roy May.
Jim Bunning just set the Phils down in order in the third, so at the end of 3, it's Phillies 3, Reds nothing.
All right, here's a strike call now to Charlie Smith. So it's 3-0 at the end of 3, Philadelphia over Cincinnati. Charlie Smith is the batter. 1 ball, 1 strike. The wind now, the pitch by Simmons. And here it is. Let up pitch outside. 2 balls and a strike. Top of the 4th. Cardinals leading 1-0. Oh, these Mets give us a battle. Now the wind, the pitch. Here it is. He swung and he missed. Strike 2. And the count is evened up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Billy McCool is relieved for the Reds now in the 4th. So the Phillies lead 3-0 with McCool relieving Nuxall, who probably went out for a pinch hitter. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch on the way. There's a little pop foul out of play into the stand. And the count evened up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 men out. Ball game in the 4th. Charlie Smith, the batter. Curt Simmons in another pitching duel with Galen Cisco. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The windup, the pitch, and here it is. There's a drive way back. It might be out of here if it stays fair. It could be. It's a home run. Just down the right field line, and this ball game is tied. Charlie Smith has just hit his 20th home run of the year. The only hope was it might go foul, but it stayed fair. Right down the line, and the ball game's tied 1-1. Charlie Smith's 20th home run. Boy, that takes the steam out of the crowd. Here is Bob Taylor, who was robbed of an extra base hit on a remarkable play by Lou Brock. The pitch, slow curve lined in the left, a base hit. Taylor is on there. And that'll bring up Ed Kranepool, a power left-handed hitter. Boy, that chance we missed in the 3rd inning. Runners at 1st and 2nd, nobody out with White and Boyer. Boyer hit his ball sharply, but he hit it right up the middle, which is exactly where they were playing him. They figure he'll be trying to pull every time, and so they give him all the right field. And with the wind blowing towards right today, that's the power field. Here's the pitch, and it's low. 1 ball, no strike. Bob Gibson is limbering up in the bullpen for the Cardinals. A tied-up ball game. Now the stretch, the hesitation, the pitch on the way. There's a pop fly. Everybody chasing it. Who's going to get it? Flood is there. He's got it to retire the side. Kranepool again flied to Flood. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. We go into the bottom of the 4th, all tied up. The Mets won. The Cardinals won.
Particular about taste? You bet I'm particular, and my Pell-Mells prove it.
Particular people take particular pleasure in the good taste of Pell-Mell.
Yes, Pell-Mells' natural mildness means just one thing: smooth, pleasing flavor.
The flavors blended over, under, around, and through to bring that particular good taste to you. So get particular pleasure like particular people do in the good taste of Pell-Mell.
Be particular. Smoke a long cigarette that's long on flavor. Buy Pell-Mell Famous Cigarettes. Outstanding. And they are mild from the American Tobacco Company.
Bottom half of the 4th inning. We have a moment. Let's go to Cincinnati, Roy.
At the top of the 4th, there's nobody on, and 1 out with Jim Bunning, the batter.
How's Bunning look?
Very good, Harry.
Okay. Here's Dick Grote to lead it off for the Cardinals in the bottom of the fourth, all tied up 1-1. Oh, we got to get some runs. Amazing how this ball club holds us. 9 of the games played with the Mets have been decided by 1 run. In 2 out of the last 3 games we played with them, and they won all 3, by the way. The pitch to Grote is a strike call. They beat us 2-1, 1-0, and of course walloped us yesterday 15-5. The last time we beat the Mets was by the score of 2-1. So their pitching just buffaloes us. Here's Grote. 1 strike, no ball. Cisco's pitch is on the way. There's a drive down the right field line, foul by about 1.5 feet. So Grote is in the hole, 2 strikes and nothing. Bottom half of the 4th inning. All tied up 1-1. And Cincinnati batting, or Philadelphia batting in the top of the 4th, leads Cincinnati 3-0. Grote the batter. 2 strikes and nothing. We're in the 4th. Now the pitch on the way, and it's a curveball high. The Phils didn't score in the 4th. The Reds are now batting, trailing 3-0. 2 strikes and a ball. The present pace, the Cincinnati game is ahead of ours. Just about equal. We're in the bottom of the 4th. They're in the bottom of the 4th. 2 strikes and a ball. The pitch to Grote. Into the dirt, low. That evens it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cardinals have had 3 hits. The Mets have had 4 hits. The Mets had a home run from Charlie Smith down the right field line to the pavilion roof. His 20th home run of the year. He went to the opposite field and took advantage of the wind. The little fellow's had a great year. Anytime you have 20 home runs in this league, you've done something. Here's the pitch to Grote. There's a fly ball, deep right center field. That's going to go all the way to the wall, maybe extra bases. Grote's around first, heading for second. Here's the throw. He's going to make it easily. A double. Grote opens the 4th with a double to right center. And now it'll be McCarver, who doubled to left in the 2nd. Followed by Shannon. That's the lead run at second base. Nobody out. McCarver takes a look at Vern Benson coaching third. Now the stretch. The pitch is on the way. A bouncing ball back to the mound. He holds the runner at second, throws to first, and McCarver's out. Boy, that hurt. He didn't pull the ball at all. Just pushed his bat at it. Hit it right back to the pitcher. One situation you've got to try to pull, because a ground ball to the first base side would put Grote at third with 1 out. As it is now, takes a base hit to score. Here's Shannon, who drove in our first run with a single to left. Grote in scoring position with 1 out. Now the stretch, the hesitation. The pitch is on the way. It's a fastball low, ball 1. Dal Maxfield will be next. 1-1, we're in the bottom of the 4th. The Mets have won the first 2 games, trying to make it a clean sweep. The Phillies are leading the Reds 3-0 in the bottom of the 4th at Cincinnati. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch is on the way. He had a good cut on that one, and he fouled it off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Anything happening, Roy? Quickly.
1-1 and 1 out here for the Reds in the bottom of the 4th inning, and Frank Robinson at the plate.
All right, 1 ball, 1 strike here. Shannon the batter. Score tied 1-1. Galen Cisco rubs up the baseball. Now we're ready. The outfield bunches Shannon towards center. Cisco gets set. Rode a long lead at second base. And the 1-1 pitch is on the way. And here it is. He had a cut and he fouled it back. Boy, he had a good swing at a curveball that time. He returned the ball to the pitcher and almost hit him in the face. He wasn't looking. 2 strikes and a ball. Cincinnati, is Robinson still up, Roy?
Yes, he is, Harry, with a 1-1 count. A runner at first. 1 out.
2 strikes and a ball here, with 1 out and a runner at second and Mike Shannon the batter. Down Maxville would be next. 1-1 tie. Charlie Smith, who hit a home run yesterday, hit another one today. Now the stretch. From the belt. And the pitch to Shannon on the way. A pop fly, and the short center field's going to be caught. Hickman is there. He's got it 2 away. Shannon didn't have much of a swing at that one. So there's 2 out here in the 4th. And here's Dal Maxville. He popped up his first time. Right-handed hitter up there. Playing in place of the injured Javier. Maxville batting .222. Right-handed hitter. Galen Cisco takes his time, rubs up the baseball. Now ready. From the belt. There's the pitch to Maxville. It's a high inside curveball, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Maxville, not a power hitter. No homers and 2 RBIs, batting .222. Chokes up on the bat about an inch from the end. 1 ball, no strikes. The stretch. And the pitch to Maxville. Oop, he backs off the rubber. Galen Cisco, very deliberate. After this pitch, we'll flash back to Cincinnati. There's the stretch. And the pitch to Maxville. Here it is. Line drive, base hit. Here's a man going to try to score. Here's Jim Hickman up with the ball. And he scores. The Cardinals lead 2-1. Maxville single to center, scoring group. And the Cardinals lead 2-1. Now let's see if anything has happened in Cincinnati.
Out here now as Frank Robinson struck out, but the ball got away from the catcher, and Pinson is on second base now. The batter is Darren Johnson. 2 out, Phillies 3, Reds nothing in the bottom of the 4th.
All right, here's Curt Simmons now. Down Maxville drives in his 3rd run of the year, and he ripped that ball hard up the middle. And Simmons steps up there. 2-1 in favor of the Cardinals. Bill Wakefield warms up again for the Mets. Cisco getting ready. Now the stretch by Cisco and the pitch to Simmons. And here it is. Outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Cisco, broad-shouldered right-hander who's won 6, lost 18. 2-1 the Cardinals lead. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Cranepool doesn't hold the runner on. He plays back off the bag at first. The stretch. The pitch now to Simmons. Here it is. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls to nothing. Curt Flood would be next. Redbirds trying to build up a cushion, which is hard to do against this ball club. 2 balls, no strikes. The Phillies beat the Mets 15 out of 18 this year, and we wonder how in the world they did it. 2 balls, no strikes. Now the stretch from the belt. The pitch to Simmons. It's ball 3 low. 3 balls and no strikes. 2 out, a runner at first. Maxville belted in the tie-breaking run. The football Cardinals are leading in Washington 21-10. 3 balls, no strikes. 2 out. Runner at first base. Flood would be next. Galen Cisco gets set. Now from the belt, the pitch on the way. Here it is. Ball 4. He walked in. So we have runners at first and second with 2 out. And Curt Flood coming up. Let's switch now to Cincinnati and see if the Reds are still batting in their 4th.
Situation the same here. A man on second base, 2 out, and a 1-2 count on Darren Johnson.
All right. Here's Curt Flood. Simmons at first. Maxville at second. Ball game in the 4th. The Reds did not score in the 4th. Here's a stretch now, the pitch to Flood. It's inside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Curt Flood, who lined out his first time, walked his second time. Brock would be next. Right-handed batter waiting. 2-1 in favor of the Cardinals. Here's the stretch. And the pitch on the way. He swung and he missed. He was going for the pump that time. What's that, Roy? Can you hear me? Still there? Here's the stretch. 1 ball, 1 strike. A bouncing ball just ought to end the inning. McMillan's got it. Flips to second. Flood for Simmons. From McMillan to Klaus. 1 run. 2 hits. No errors. 2 left. At the end of 4, the Cardinals 2, the Mets 1. Top of the 5th, the Cardinals lead 2-1. George Allman will lead it off. Anything going on in Cincinnati, Roy?
Yes, Harry. In the top of the 5th inning, Richie Allen has just homered against the center field wall. They now lead 4-0. Nobody out, nobody on.
All right, wonderful. Richie Allen has just homered, and the Reds and the Phillies lead 4-0 at Cincinnati. Here's George Altman up there. 1 strike and no ball. Now the wind. Here's the pitch on the way. And he started to swing and he held up. 1 ball, 1 strike. They're in the 5th at Cincinnati with the Phillies leading 4-0. Left-handed batter Altman waits. He walked his first time at bat. Here's the windup now. The pitch by Simmons. And it gets away from McCarver. 2 balls and a strike. A little bit inside. On behalf of Busch Bavarian Beer, we sincerely hope that you've enjoyed another season of Cardinal baseball broadcast. 2 balls, 1 strike. The pitch is on the way. Fouled out of play, and the count is in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Altman the batter. We're in the 5th, and they're in the 5th up there. We lead 2-1. The Reds trail 4-0. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the windup, and here's the pitch on the way. Line drive, base hit for Altman. Altman singles to center. And so, once again, the tying runners on base with nobody out, enabling their pitcher, Galen Cisco, to come up and sacrifice. Altman single to center.
Football score, Harry. At the end of 3 quarters, the football Cardinals lead 21-10 over the Redskins.
Okie doke, here's Cisco. And the stretch, the pitch on the way. He bunts, and it's a good one. Boy, they can lay that ball down. There's a throw to first to Maxville. They just don't fail on that sacrifice, do they? And the play goes from Boyer to Maxville as Cisco sacrifices, and here is Bobby Klaus. right-handed batter. The ball game in the fifth. The Redbirds in a real struggle with the Mets, but leading 2-1. Mets have the tying run at second base, 1 out. The stretch now, the pitch on the way. He swung and he missed the fastball, strike 1. 1 strike and no ball. 1 out. Grote edging a little bit towards Altman. He has a long lead. Simmons pitch. Strike 2, hit the corner. A fastball to nip the outside corner. So it's 2 strikes and no ball. 1 out. And a man in scoring position here in the fifth. The delivery on the way. There's a high pop fly that should be caught by somebody. Maxfield is there. He's under the ball. Oh, he lets it drop. And here's a runner around third holding up. Klaus winds up at second base. Shannon could have caught the ball. But Maxfield had called for it. And the wind grabbed it. Come on, Mike, take those kind. Gee, an easy pop fly. Now they have the leading run at second, the tying run at third. Maxfield had called for the ball, so Shannon let him have it. And he didn't play the wind at all. And it goes for a double. And now McMillan, the tough man up there with runners at second and third, and the infield has to come in. McMillan hit the ball sharply in the third, but into a double play. Right-hand batter waits. Simmons in a jam. Ready to wind up. Here's the pitch on the way. It's outside. Joe Christopher would be next. The Cardinals in trouble. Bob Gibson down in the bullpen. We lead 2-1, but a pop fly was just permitted to drop as down Maxfield miscalculated the wind. 1 ball, no strike, the pitch on the way. And it's outside, ball 2. 2 balls and nothing. Shannon in right, Flood in center, Brock in left. What really hurt about that one was that Shannon could have caught the ball. But Maxfield kept yelling for it, so Shannon had to back away from him, fearing a collision whereby the ball might drop. And so, by retreating, he wasn't able to lunge for the ball as Maxfield, completely misjudging it, allowed it to drop. 2 balls, no strike. Infield in. Can Simmons pitch out of this? He's behind the hitter, 2 balls and nothing. Now he's ready. Into the windup he goes, and here's the pitch on the way. Line drive's going to score both, and the Mets have taken the lead. Into the corner, McMillan's on his way to second base. A double to left, and the Cardinals trail 3-2. McMillan, a tough hitter in the clutch. And now two of the teams, right now, if everything would end the way it is now, there'd be a triple tie starting tomorrow in Philadelphia, with the Reds playing the Phillies. Boy, that high pop fly, that really hurt. Changed the whole inning around. And now Joe Christopher comes up. Bob Gibson is down in the bullpen. And Gibson in relief, you don't know. Here comes the manager, Johnny Keane, out. And Gibson's going to be brought in here. Simmons has been KO'd. Boy, that's a shame on that pop fly. If Maxfield had just stayed away from it completely, why, it would have been all right. But it started out like a routine pop fly behind first, and he kept yelling for it and running out for it, so Shannon stopped coming in. And then he didn't come within 5 feet of it. Simmons is going to stay in there. Just a little chat. 1 out. 3-2 in favor of the Mets. Boy, are we ever going to beat these fellas? All right, now Johnny just wanted to give Gibson a little more time to get ready. Now he's coming out, which means that Simmons will have to go out because he's come out twice in 1 inning. All right, let's go now to Roy May in Cincinnati and see what the picture is there.
We're going into the bottom of the 5th inning now with the Phillies out in front, 4-0. And in the top of the inning, as you know, Richie Allen hit that long home run to center field. So that's the situation. Reds coming to bat in the bottom of the 5th. Phillies leading 4-0.
And the Reds are trailing 4-0, as you heard, and we're losing 3-2 here. And Bob Gibson comes in relief. Let's see, for Gibson, this is only the 5th time that he's relieved. He comes into the ball game trailing 3-2. Curt Simmons has been knocked out here. 2 doubles and a single, but 1 double was just a high pop fly behind first base. That young Dow Maxfield misjudged, let the wind carry it away from him, and it dropped behind him. As he was calling, he had it. So Gibson now comes in. He lost 1-0 Friday night. Makes this particularly tough for us is that the Reds are losing, which is the combination you need. A Cardinal victory and a Red defeat would clinch the pennant for the Cardinals. A Met victory and a Philadelphia victory would throw the 3 teams into a tie, which would make all-time baseball history a 3-way tie, necessitating a round-robin playoff. All right, Joe Christopher will be the batter. 1 out. A man in scoring position. The Mets lead 3-2. The stretch, the hesitation. And the pitch to Christopher. Strike call, a good fastball. 1 strike and no balls. Christopher beat out a bunt in the 1st. He's hitting .301. He flied out to right in the 4th. Jim Hickman, another right-handed batter, will be next. Here's the stretch. And from the belt, the pitch on the way. A high fly ball to right. Shannon is there waiting for it. He's got it. 2 gone. Here's Hickman, a right-handed batter. Simmons cannot be the winner in this game. He could be the loser if the Cardinals never catch up. He would be the loser if the Cardinals don't catch up. We've got a long way to go. Now Hickman comes out. Nothing out of 2 in this ball game. He had nothing out of 4 against Gibson Friday night. Man's in scoring position, 1 out. Now the stretch, the hesitation, and the pitch on the way. It's a fastball high and inside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. In the 5th. The delivery by Gibson on the way. A tap right in front of the plate. McCarver's got it, throws to first in time. And so the inning is over, and Gibson did the job. There's 2-run score, however, on 3 hits. No errors and 1 left. And now we go into the bottom of the 5th. The Mets 3, the Cardinals 2.
We'd like to talk to you ladies now about some very good reasons for using Cotton-Made Instant Spray Starch on ironing day. First of all, Cotton-Made is a work saver. A few light sprays over hard-to-iron areas is all you need to make ironing smoother. Clothes stay neat longer. Use Cotton-Made on cuffs and collars especially. It'll keep them looking fresh all day. Secondly, Cotton-Made is a money saver. You see, it comes in a safe plastic refillable bottle. You save a great deal over the cost of aerosol sprays. You don't throw the spray bottle away, you refill it from the economy size quart. And because Cotton-Made has a window spray type plunger, you get just the amount of spray that you need. You don't have all that pressure. You never use too much. And thirdly, get a bottle of Cotton-Made next shopping day. Be sure to look for the refill when your pint sprayer gets low. Cotton-Made, a product of Anheuser-Busch Incorporated. Before we move now to the last half of the 5th inning, with the Redbirds down 3-2, we'll take time for station identification. This is the Cardinals Baseball Network.
KMOX and KMOX-FM, St. Louis.
Only DX gasoline contains the element boron. Fill up with
DX Super Boron. Drive a car that's alive.
This is Harry Carey with Jerry Gross at beautiful Busch Stadium in St. Louis. The Cardinals trailing by a run. 3-2. Here's Lou Brock to lead it off. Galen Cisco has been on the ropes, but he leads. Here's the pitch to Brock on the way. He had a cut and he missed strike 1. Quickly, Roy, what's going on in Cincinnati?
We're at the end of 5 now, Harry. Still, Phillies 4, Reds nothing, and Jim Bunning looks sharp indeed. He's got these Reds popping up all over the place.
Let's hope he continues. 1 strike and no balls. Brock the hitter. Here's the pitch on the way. Outside, and that evens it up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Come on, Lou. Let's pump one out on the Grand Avenue. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch on the way. He had a cut, and boy, that's what he had in mind, but he fouled it off. 2 strikes and a ball. It's at the end of 5 now, 4-0. Philadelphia at Cincinnati. They haven't posted that other one yet. Two strikes and a ball. Lou Brock waits. A ball game in the 5th. Cisco's pitch is on the way. Way outside. And the count evens at 2 balls, 2 strikes. What is it, Roy? I didn't get you. Joey J? Joey J, the new pitcher for the Reds in the 6th. 4-0 Philadelphia. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch to Brock. Low, ball 3. Barely missed the strike zone.
Harry, it looked as though Cisco had trouble with his curveball in the 4th inning, but here in the 5th, he's had trouble getting the fastball over, which is tailing away from the left-handed hitters.
Cardinals 1 run behind. Galen Cisco getting ready. Here's the windup and the pitch. He double pumps and then stops. And now he starts all over again. And now he delivers 3-2. Ball 4, he walked him. Maybe this is the inning we can break it open. Here's Bill White, who lined out to short and bounced into a force play. Cardinals have been out hit 7-5, outscored 3-2. Activity down in the Met bullpen. Boy, this Casey Stengel is playing it right down to the hilt, which is the way the game is supposed to be played. Here goes Hawk Taylor out to talk to the pitcher. Bill White will be the batter. None of our left-handed batters have taken advantage of this wind yet. Bob Bill Hunter is the left-hander down there, and Bill Wakefield the right-hander. Come on, Bill. Pump one out on the roof. Runner at first, nobody out. Boyer will be next. Galen Cisco getting set. There's the stretch. The throw to first, and Brock is back. Cisco just lobbed the ball. Bob Taylor, the catcher. Bill White, the batter. Brock a lead. There's the pitch. Pitch out, he's not going. 1 ball and no strikes. Runner at first, nobody out, 5th inning. Now the signal given. The stretch, Brock a lead. There's the pitch. He's not going. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Let's go to Cincinnati and Roy May as Casey Stengel comes out of the dugout here. Roy.
In the top of the 6th inning, the Phils have the start of something. They have runners at first and second, nobody out, and pitcher Jim Bunning at the plate. They're looking for the bunt, of course.
So the Phillies are threatening to get more up there with runners at first and second and nobody out. Casey Stengel is coming out to talk to Galen Cisco. Our left-hander's down in the bullpen, Will Hunter. Back to Cincinnati and Roy May.
Here in the 6th inning, the bases are now loaded. As Bunning dropped a bunt, they let it roll, and it stayed fair. Bases loaded, nobody out. Gonzalez will be the batter.
Wow. Come on, let's us have an inning now. It looks like the Phillies might be headed for one. Already leading 4-0. They have the bases loaded and nobody out. Come on, Bill. 2 balls, no strikes. Cisco stays in there. Now the stretch, the hesitation. And here's the pitch. Line drive, right field, base hit. And Brock stops at second base. And the Cardinals have runners at first and second and nobody out with Kenny Boyer coming up. Boyer walked and hit into a double play. And let's see now what the Cardinals do. Will Boyer hit or will he bunt? There's a left-hander and a right-hander down in the bullpen for the Mets. Jerry?
Boyer this year has faced Cisco 6 times. He had a home run and a triple off him earlier this year. But he's 0 for 1 here this afternoon, grounded into the double play. Yet he did hit the ball very hard at Klaus for the double play.
All right, Boyer the batter. Runners at first and second and nobody out. The Cardinals are trailing 3-2. The Phillies are leading the Reds. Now the signal given. Right-handed batter digging in. This crowd is really alive. The stretch, the hesitation. And now the pitch. It's low, a fastball, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Hunter, the left-hander, Wakefield, the right-hander, continue to pump in the bullpen. This might be Cisco's last man if he doesn't retire him. Now the stretch. And the pitch to Boyer. A hot shot. Left field, base hit. The tying run is in. Here's another man racing for third. There goes Boyer to second with a double. The Cardinals have tied it up. As Boyer doubled past Charlie Smith into left field. And now Casey Stengel coming out. The score tied 3-3. Runners at second and third and nobody out. And I believe it's going to be Wakefield. Bill Wakefield's going to come in. That for Boyer. Run batted in, number 119. Let's go now to Cincinnati and see what's happened there.
And here across the field, the Phillies now lead 6-0. 6-0. Runners at first and second, nobody out, and Richie Allen at the plate.
There you have it. The Phillies are now leading 6-0 and still batting. Oh, what excitement here today. I wish you could all be here.
Harry, as we mentioned earlier, Cisco had fastball trouble in the inning, and when he did come in with what appeared to be an off-speed pitch to Boyer, 1-0, Kenny, rather than being overeager, waited for the pitch and lined it just inside the line for the big double.
Something else in Cincinnati. What is it, Roy?
Harry, Richie Allen has broken this game wide open. They now lead 9-0. He just homered into the right field bleachers. 9-0.
9-0 in favor of the Phillies. The Cardinals could clinch the pennant with a victory here today. Holy cow! Hold on to that cold bottle of Busch Bavarian beer, friends, because a celebration might take place here today. Angelo down in Omaha just ordered 100 cases, he tells me in a wire. And, we were on Armed Forces Network the other day, and Willie Buchholzer, who is Gussie Bush's brother-in-law, who lives in Luzerne, Switzerland, listening to the Armed Forces Network, really pulling for the St. Louis Cardinals. From Luzerne, we just received this wire. I hope the Armed Forces is with us again today, because the Cardinals maybe will clinch the National League pennant. They are carrying our broadcast all over the world today. Hey, what else is new? Listen to this crowd. All right, Bill Wakefield is the new pitcher. The game tied 3-3, the infield in. The windup by Wakefield, the pitch to Grote. Outside slider. Oh, a base hit now. The Cardinals would be leading. Bill Wakefield, who comes out of the Cardinal chain. 1 ball, no strike. Into the windup, the pitch to Grote. Here it is. He swung trying to hit the right field, and he missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. They're listening to us down in Antigua, in the British West Indies, throughout the Caribbean area. So our appreciation to Gordon Bridge and the gang at Armed Forces Network. Here is Grote. Here's the windup by Wakefield. Here's the pitch. He fouled it back, and he's in the hole. 2 strikes and a ball. Tim McCarver will be next. Cardinals are tied here. 3-3. Runners at second and third. Nobody out. The Met infield playing shallow. Big Bill Wakefield in relief. He's out of Kansas City. 2 strikes and a ball. Now all set. This crowd is in a hysterical frenzy. 2 strikes and a ball. Now the line. Here's the pitch on the way. Foul back and out of play. Grote trying to get a piece of that ball. The infield in. 2 strikes and a ball on veteran shortstop Dick Grote. Bill Hunter, a left-hander. And Jack Fisher, a right-hander, down in the bullpen for the Mets. We got to get some runs. 2 strikes and a ball. Wakefield is ready. There's the windup now and the pitch on the way. He fouled it back again. Grote staying alive. He's trying to hit that ball to the first base side of the infield. White's at third. Boyer's at second. Brock has scored. The tying run. The Cardinals with a chance to blow it open here. And the Phillies are leading 9-0 at Cincinnati. 2 strikes, 1 ball. The wind, the pitch. Here it is. A ground ball up the middle off the pitcher's glove. A run scores. Grote is thrown out at first base. The Cardinals lead 4-3. And Boyer held second base, not knowing whether White would break for the plate or not. Give Wakefield an assist on the play also. He deflected the ball. A run batted in for Grote, number 70. Here's McCarver now, with a runner at second and only 1 out. That Richie Allen has really put on a show this last week. Certainly in this Cincinnati series. As soon as we get a moment, we'll have our man in Cincinnati come in. There's the stretch. They're going to walk McCarver intentionally now to bring on Mike Shannon. An intentional pass. Well, while this is being done, Roy, any more up there in the 6th?
No, Harry, Bill Henry came in to put out the fire, retired the 3-man he faced, but a little bit too late as the Phils jumped all over Joey J here in the 6th inning for 5 hits and 5 runs, including a home run by Richie Allen, his second of the day, along with a double. 3 out of 4 for Allen. So we're going into the bottom of the 6th. 9-0, the Phillies over the Reds.
All right, McCarver's been intentionally passed. We have runners at first and second. And here's Mike Shannon. There's only 1 out. Dal Maxfield would be next. Oh, to pump one out of here now, to give a little cushion. The Cardinals leading 4-3 with Gibson in relief of Curt Simmons. Now the stretch. From the belt. The pitch to Shannon. He takes it inside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strike. Shannon, who drove in a run, our first of the day in the 2nd inning. Hitting .262. 9 homers and 43 RBIs. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. All right, Roy. 1 ball, no strikes. There's Bill Wakefield getting ready. Now the pitch. Low, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Maxfield would be next. Oh, for an in-betweener now to get a little breathing room. Cardinals 1 run ahead. The Phillies 9 runs ahead. 2 balls, no strikes. Now the stretch, the hesitation. And the pitch on the way. Strike! Slider hit the outside corner at the knee. Bill Wakefield, a product of the Van Johnson League. The football Cardinals beat Washington 23-17. 2 balls and a strike. Right-hand batter waiting. Mike Shannon, the hitter. The pitch. He swings at a curve, and he made him look bad on that one. Here comes the 5 for the Phillies on the scoreboard. Two balls, 2 strikes. Right-handed batter digging in. There's the stretch. And now the pitch. He struck him out. Shannon goes down swinging. So here's Dal Maxfield. He drove in a run in the 4th. Can he drive in another one here in the 5th? Bob Gibson would be next. 4-3 in favor of the Cardinals. Maxfield popped out and singled in a run. Now the first pitch is a curveball outside, ball one. 1 ball to no strikes. Oh, if we win this one, the World Series will start here Wednesday against the Yankees. But we got to win this ball game. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch, outside, ball 2. 2 balls to nothing. Down Maxville. A little fellow, but he can sting that ball. The outfield plays him shallow. They don't expect him to hit for power. Expect him to hit for power. 2 balls, no strikes. Now the stretch. And from the belt, here's the pitch. Ground ball to right, a base hit. Here's a runner going to try to score. Christopher fumbles the ball, and the Cardinals have another run. Maxville, single to right. And here comes Casey Stengel out. So Maxville certainly is atoned for that pop fly. He's driven in 2 runs. And the Redbirds lead 5-3 with 2 out and pitcher Bob Gibson coming up. Jack Fisher, a right-hander, is going to be the next pitcher.
What emotion packed with the installation of Dal Maxville into the lineup. You can imagine what went through his mind, the mind of anyone who would come into a game deciding the pennant, Harry. This young man had only been to the plate 22 times prior to this ball game, and he has come up with 2 clutch hits and driven in 2 big runs, perhaps the biggest runs of his career.
All right, it will be Jack Fisher. So let's get a later report now as he walks in from the bullpen from Cincinnati.
Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, the Reds are batting with 1 out. They have a man at first, and Chico Ruiz is at the plate. Phillies leading 9-0, and Harry, it's good to hear that good news from St. Louis.
All right, Jack Fisher takes over, the 3rd pitcher. He started the ball game yesterday, was knocked out. Cisco started today, then Wakefield. Bob Gibson, who was stymied trying for his 19th victory when he lost 1-0 Friday, would be the pitcher of record if the Cardinals can hold this lead. So he still would have a chance to win his 19th. Sadecki has 120. Simmons is 118. Gibson will be trying for number 19. And a youngster from Webster Groves, Billy Southworth, playing in a major league game, just hit his first home run. Billy Southworth, playing for the Braves, is homered with a man on. He's a graduate from Webster Groves High School, a great athlete over there. Well, Bob Gibson's going to be the hitter. We have runners at first and third. Maxville, who has driven in 2 runs today. He singled on the ground just beyond the glove of Ed Kranepool. Oh, what a finish. You all enjoying yourselves here at the ballpark today? Wonderful. All right, here's Bob Gibson now, and here's the pitch. And it's a slider outside. Gibson, a good hitting pitcher. 5-3 in favor of the Cardinals. We're in the last of the 5th. Phillies have a big lead over the Reds. Now the stretch. And the pitch on the way. He fouled it out of play into the upper deck. 1 ball and 1 strike. There's the hesitation from the belt. The pitch on the way. He was going to bunt, but he missed it. Strike two. 2 strikes and a ball. It was a tough pitch to bunt. Caught the outside corner at the knee. 2 strikes and a ball. Now ready. From the belt. Fisher steps back. 2 strikes, 1 ball. The pitch. Slider outside. And that evens it up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes. The pitch to Gibson. And here it is. A high pop foul. Might go out of play. Over near the stands, and nobody can reach it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Cardinals with a chance to clinch the National League pennant as the Reds are trailing 9-0. The Redbirds leading 5-3. Jack Fisher getting ready. Oh, the fates wouldn't be so cruel as to deprive us this one, would they? 2 balls, 2 strikes. The stretch. The pitch. He struck him out. Gibson goes down swinging. Well, that ends the inning, but a good inning. 3-run score on 3 hits. No errors, 2 left. The Cardinals have stranded 7, and at the end of 5. The Cardinals 5, the Mets 3. Well, here we're going into the 6th. Charlie Smith, who homered and popped up, will be the hitter against Bob Gibson. Let's go to Cincinnati now. Roy, what happened in the bottom of the 6th?
Well, Harry, we're going into the 7th now. The Phillies still leading 9-0. These Reds can't do a thing against Jim Bunning. He's allowed just 3 hits, struck out 4, and walked no one. And Tony Taylor will lead off here in the 7th inning. The Phillies leading 9.
Here's Charlie Smith, and the first pitch swung on. A little fly ball in his short center. Flood coming on, and he makes the catch. Smith popped the Flood in short center field. 1 out. Well, I know there's going to be a lot of commotion and excitement after the game if it ends like we all pray it does. So as we go along, we certainly want to express our appreciation on behalf of everybody up here for your loyalty and friendship down through the years. It's been a hectic, marvelous, wonderful year. Here's a pitch to Bob Taylor, and it's a curved strike call to our stations along the line, to our originating station with Bob Hyland, to our Gardner Advertising Agency. Here's a pitch. There's a curved strike call. Bill Fisher and Ed Langen. To all the people here at the ballpark. Doggy Lynch and Emma Bach and Ed Keating and Eddie Mesher, among others. 2 strikes, no balls, a pitch to Taylor's outside. To our various engineers, our originating station. For Roy May, who's in Cincinnati today. For Jack Buck and for Jerry Gross. Here's a pitch. Hot shot to left. Oh, Grote made a great effort. It's a single, and Taylor is on with his second hit. So just in case we don't have a chance at the end of the game and all the excitement that might be existing, to Bernie Fox and the rest of the fellows who do so much for us. Too many of the engineers to mention, but we mention them all after every game. Here's Ed Kranepool. Boy, here's a threat. The left-handed batter. The pitch is a strike call. He drove in the only run against Gibson Friday night. 5-3, the Cardinals are leading. Now from the belt, the pitch. Low to our sponsors, those on the Dugout Show and those on the Scoreboard Show. And above all, those on the baseball. Busch Bavarian Beer and the American Tobacco Company. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch on the way to Crane pulls the strike call. 2 strikes in the ball. We're in the 6th. 5-3 in favor of the Cardinals. Oh, I'd like to get a few more runs. I'd like about 7 more. 2 strikes, 1 ball. And the pitch on the way. Fastball outside. It's even up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ed Kranepool waiting. Here's the pitch. Low outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. On Ed Kranepool, a dangerous left-handed batter who's hit 10 home runs, including a big one with 2 on yesterday. Got to worry about him. The Cardinals leading only by 2. It's still anybody's ball game. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The stretch. Here's the pitch. He walked him. So they have men at first and second with 1 out. Let's go to Cincinnati, right?
In the 7th, the Phillies now lead 10-0 as Tony Taylor scored on Bobby Wine's sacrifice fly. Back to you, Harry.
So the Phillies continue to add. They now lead 10-0 in the 7th. Here's George Altman. Left-handed batter, Bob Gibson. Altman represents the lead run at the plate, the stretch. Here's the pitch. He swings and he misses, strike 1. 1 strike and no ball. The wind blowing out towards right field, and you got to worry about that every time a left-handed batter comes up. Gordon Richardson starts limbering up. Gibson pitched a tough ball game Friday night. Here's the stretch. The pitch to Altman. Low, and that evens it up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Altman has walked and singled in this ball game. The Mets threatening here in the 6th. The pitch is on the way. A bouncing ball, it's foul. And boy, you could see Altman trying to pull because the wind is blowing strongly towards right. Any ball hit at all well will be carried out of here. And Altman represents the lead run. 2 strikes in the ball. The Cardinal lead is only 2. 2 strikes in the ball. Now the stretch, the hesitation. And the pitch on the way. Curve into the dirt. He really tried to snap that one off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Runners at first and second, the ball game in the 6th. Bob Gibson waiting. Now the stretch. Here's the pitch to Altman. A ground ball to Bill White. He's got it. Gives it to Gibson covering. The runners advance to second and third, and the pitcher will be coming up. Altman rolled out from Bill White to Bob Gibson. And now let's see, Jesse Gonder is going to be the pinch hitter. Gonder's going to pinch hit. A left-handed batter with power. We're going to pause here for station identification. This is the Cardinals Baseball Network.
KMOX and KMOX FM St. Louis.
Manager Johnny Keene out talking to Bob Gibson. Gonder, a left-handed batter, he's hit 7 homers, driven in 35 runs, batting .271. He's always dangerous, but particularly on this kind of a day with the wind blowing strongly towards right. I have to keep repeating that because that can be a big factor. It's already been one on a pop fly that was blown away from Dow Maxville.
Looking back, Harry, Gonder hit a home run off Bob Gibson in a ball game earlier. So he has had good success against Bob. Stengel perhaps remembered that. He hit a 2-run first-inning home run in a ball game played here in St. Louis. Eventually, Gibson hung on to win the ball game. but he can hit the ball out even without a wind. Good power.
So Gibson's going to stay in there. And he'll pitch to Jesse Gonder. There's 2 out. And the Mets will have a new pitcher, Bill Hunter, facing the Cardinals in the 6th. And they're going to walk Gonder intentionally to get to Bobby Klaus. A daring move because this is the lead run of the ball game. Gonder is going to be intentionally passed. Klaus, who's had a single and a double, 2 out of 3. Klaus against Gibson Friday night, fanned twice, but had a base hit. So the lead run will be at first base with 2 out. And Klaus, a right-handed batter, will be coming up. An intentional pass. We're in the 6th. Bobby Klaus up there. And Roy McMillan will be next. So Gibson in a jam. Now the windup, and here's the pitch. It's a strike call. 1 strike and no balls. A fast-moving slider caught the outside corner. 1 strike, no balls. 2 men are out. Here's the pitch. Slider missed outside. That evens it up. Bobby Klaus batting .221. Right-handed batter. Gibson getting ready. Now the windup, and here's the pitch on the way. He swung and he missed strike 2. 2 strikes and a ball. We're in the 6th. The Cardinals leading 5-3. Right-hand batter waiting. Now the line. Here's the pitch on the way. He foul-tipped it back. 2 strikes and a ball, and Klaus was trying to hit that ball into right field. Bob Gibson gets set. Bases are jammed. Now the windup, and here's the pitch. Just missed with it inside, and it evens up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. The right-hand batter digging in. He hit his 4th home run of the year yesterday. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. Ball 3 now. And we're really in a jam. The runners will be going. 3 balls, 2 strikes. They want to look at the baseball. He got out in front of Bobby Klaus, but now has come down to a crucial pitch. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 out, bases loaded. Cardinals leading only 5-3. Crowd quiet. You could hear a pin drop. 3 balls, 2 strikes, the stretch. Here's the pitch. Everybody going. Forced in a run. He walked him. And now that makes it 5-4. And here is a tough hitter in the clutch, Roy McMillan. He doubled in 2 runs in the 5th to put him into the lead. He comes up again in a spot where he can put him into the lead. Gordon Richardson and Bob Humphrey in the bullpen. Gibson has walked 3 men in this inning. Now the windup, and here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. At the end of 7 innings, the Phillies lead the Reds 10-0, but we have our own problems here. 1 ball, no strikes. The Well, we go into the bottom of the sixth, and we'll have the top of the batting order against Will Hunter, who did a fine relief job against the Cardinals in a game that Galen Cisco beat us 2-1. So Will Hunter will be the pitcher, and Jesse Gonder will be batting in the ninth slot. And Hunter, the pitcher, will be hitting in the sixth spot. And Hawk Taylor's out of the ball game. This one is nip and tuck, 5-4 in favor of the Cardinals in the bottom of the sixth. While at the end of 7 in Cincinnati, the Phillies lead 10-0. The Cardinals could clinch the pennant with a victory. We got to win to clinch it. If we lose, there would be a 3-way tie. All right, here's Flood. He's hitless. Nothing out of 2. Bill Hunter on the hill. There's a pitch on the way. It's a fastball strike call. Hunter, a hard-throwing left-hander. Now the wind, the pitch on the way. Hot shot to the shortstop. McMillan's got it. Over to first base in time. So Flood rolls out to Roy McMillan. That will bring up Lou Brock. He's had 1 out of 2. He's been on base every time. Once with a base hit, once on an error, and once on a walk. 1 out, nobody on. 5-4 in favor of the Cardinals. The windup now, the pitch is on the way. A line drive, base hit in the left center. He might be able to get a double out of it. He's around first. He's going to try for second. Here's Altman's throw. He is safe. So Brock doubles in the left center. He just took advantage of Altman's weak throwing arm.
No question about it, Harry. Schultz wasted no time. Neither did Brock, and Benson on the play earlier on the base hit to Altman in left field sent McCarver in a situation earlier, and there was no hesitation, knowing the capabilities of the outfielders, and especially Altman, who was with the ball club.
Here now is Bill White. A man in scoring position with 1 out, the Cardinals leading by a run 5-4. The stretch. And the pitch. There's a drive, way back. It might be. It could be. It is a home run. Listen to the crowd. Look at those Redbirds in that dugout. Everybody's standing up. And the Cardinals lead 7-4 now. Oh, is that a happy dugout? Here now is Kenny Boyer. That was White's 21st home run. There's the pitch by Hunter. And it's high.
Fella's not supposed to hit left-handers, is he, Harry? He really teed off on that one. Looked like a 2-iron drive. It kept going higher and higher.
Landed out on Grand Avenue. Here's a pitch to Boyer now. And it's high and outside. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strike. The Redbirds lead 7-4. Bottom of the 6th. Cincinnati is losing 10-0 in the 8th. Here's the pitch to Kenny Boyer. And it's high and outside. Ball 3. A double by Brock and a homer by White. White now has 102 RBIs for the year. Third straight year, of course, and he's driven in 100 runs or more. He had exactly 102 2 years ago. Now the line, and here's the pitch. High and inside. He walked him. And the crowd hungry for more runs to really clinch it. In 1962, White drove in 102 runs, batted .324. Last year, he hit 29 homers that year. Or rather, 20 homers. He drove in 102. Last year, 27 homers, 109 RBI. And this year, 21 homers and 102 RBI. Ball, you're on at first base. One out. Dick Groat, the batter. The stretch. Now the pitch. High fastball. Groat, who drove in a run in the big fifth inning, and also scored one in the fourth when he led off with a double. 1 ball, no strikes. 93 games will win the pennant. The Cardinals won 93 last year and finished 6 games out. Their 93rd victory, if they get it today, will clinch the pennant. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch. Foul back into the stands. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dick Groat, the hitter. 2 runs are in. The Redbirds lead. 7-4. Bill White hit one out of sight. Bill Hunter getting ready. And now the stretch. From the belt. And a pitch to Groat. Strike call. 2 strikes and a ball. A fastball over the inside corner. Right-hand hitter up there. Cardinals again with a 3-run lead. In fact, it's their longest lead. 7-4. They led 1-0. Tied 1-1. Then led 2-1. Then behind 3-2. Then led 5-3. And now leads 7-4. The stretch. The pitch to Groat. And here it is. Swung, and he missed. Struck him out. Groat swung at a high fastball and struck out. And that will bring up McCarver. 7-4, the Cardinals lead in the last of the 6th. McCarver, left-handed batter. He doubled in the second and scored our first run. He's had 1 out of 2. Now the sign given. Ready. And the pitch is on the way to McCarver. There she goes! Way back! It might be out of here! It could be! It's off the screen! Here's another man going to score! Here's McCarver stopping at second. He's going to be caught now between second and third. Here's Charlie Smith. Hey, the throw hits McCarver. Bounces in the right field. Now he's trying for third. The throw's going to get him. He's out. But Tim doubled off the right field screen. And the Cardinals lead 8-4. In getting back to second base safely, the throw hit him on the shoulder and bounced into right. But Christopher recovered it and threw to third, and McCarver was on. So it's a double, a run batted in. Paul McCarver, as Boyer scored, all the way from first. It's a big inning for the Redbirds, who scored 3. There were 3 hits. And let's see if they charge an error. And nobody left on base. At the end of 6, the Cardinals 8 and the Mets 4. We go to the top of the 7th. Confetti's already being streaming all over the place. Hurry! know if this can hold up until the end of the top of the ninth. This joint will go crazy. In fact, it might be crazy now. I know I am. 8-4 in favor of the Cardinals. You know, let's just for a moment go back to Cincinnati. Roy, are you there?
Here, Harry, and we're in the bottom of the eighth. There are 2 out. Jim Bunning continues to be superb. The Phillies still lead 10-0, and the fans have started to leave here.
Okay. So that game's going to end before this one. Here's Joe Christopher to lead off the 7th inning. We're in the top of the 7th. 8-4 in favor of the Cardinals. Now the windup by Gibson, the pitch. Christopher ducks out of the way, ball 1. Well, I'm glad that game in Cincinnati is lopsided. I don't think we could stand any more excitement. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch on the way. And it's high and inside, ball 2. The Phillies are leading 10-0. The Cardinals are winning 8-4. If that continues, the Cardinals clinch the pennant today with a 93rd victory. 2 balls, no strikes. Joe Christopher, the hitter here in the 7th. Now the pitch. Inside. Did it? He claims it hit him, and it did. Hit by a pitch ball. Barely ticked him. Joe Christopher from the Virgin Isles. Just ticked by a pitch ball, and that'll bring up Jim Hickman. Gibson has been struggling. He's walked 3, he's hit 1, he's allowed 1 hit. He's allowed 1 run. But he's out in front, 8-4. And activity now in the bullpen. Barney Schultz gets up, along with Gordon Richardson. So here's Hickman. And here comes manager Johnny Keene out. We might have a change here. Gibson on the hill has been struggling. We're in the 7th. Keene talks to the Cardinal pitcher. Big crowd on hand. Must be around 30,000. Gibson will stay in there. Jim Hickman, the batter. He's 0 for 3 today. Boy, these Mets don't go down easy at all. Good thing we're scoring runs today, because so are they. 8-4 in favor of the Cardinals. Now Gibson gets set. Here's the pitch on the way. Strike call to Hickman, a fastball. 1 strike and no ball. Now from the belt, the pitch. A slow tap foul. Strike 2. 2 strikes and nothing. A runner at first, nobody out. We're in the 7th. At the end of 8 innings at Cincinnati, the Phillies 10, the Reds nothing. Now the stretch. The pitch. It's high. 2 strikes and a ball on Jim Hickman. Top of the 7th. 8-4 Cardinals. Now the sign and the stretch. From the belt, the pitch. Swung and he fouled it back, and boy, he had a good cut at that one. Come on, no more excitement. Let's just get these guys out. 1, 2, 3. Get it over with. Two strikes and a ball. Right-hand batter digging in. And the pitch on the way. A high pop fly on the infield. Grote calling for the ball. Waiting for it. He takes it. So Hickman topped DeGroat, one away. And here's Charlie Smith. Charlie, a right-handed batter, tied up the ball game with a home run in the fourth. The Mets tied it up 1-1 at the fourth, then took the lead 3-2 in the fifth. But the Cardinals scored 3 in the bottom of the fifth and 3 in the sixth. Bill White has the only Cardinal home run. Charlie Smith has hit the only one for the Mets. Now the stretch. And the pitch to Smith. It's a strike call. 1 strike and no ball. Bob Gibson ready. The pitch. Swung. Pop fly on the infield. That's going to be easy. Maxfield under the ball. And he has it. 2 out here in the top of the 7th. And that will bring up a pinch hitter now for Hunter. See who the hitter is going to be. There's 2 out, a runner at first. The Cardinals leading 8-4. The St. Louis Cardinals with a chance to clinch the 1964 pennant. Larry Elliott, a left-handed batter, is going to hit for Hunter. Funny how things develop. About 10 days ago, we all were hopeful. We figured we had an outside chance because we played 3 games with the Phillies and knew that the Phillies would have to finish up in Cincinnati. And we figured that they might have trouble over there. Well, just the opposite. It's the Reds, when they actually played over there, who had a chance to do something. And it's the Reds who have had trouble, losing yesterday and getting trounced today. Larry Elliott, a left-handed batter. There's a pitch by Gibson. And it's fastball outside. One ball and no strikes. Elliott hitting .229 with 9 homers, 22 RBIs. Left-handed hitter. The stretch, the pitch. A high pop foul out of play. And the count is evened up with a ball and a strike. We're in the top of the 7th. Cardinals lead 8-4. Now the stretch ready. The pitch. It's a strike call. Fastball right in there. 2 strikes and a ball. Left-handed batter digging in. Now ready. And the pitch. It's a strike call. He's out of there. Fastball over the outside corner. No hits, no runs, no errors, 1 left. We go into the bottom half of the 7th inning. The Cardinals 8, the Mets 4.
Particular about taste? You bet I'm particular, and my Pell-Mells prove it.
Particular people take particular pleasure in the good taste of Pell-Mell.
Pell-Mell, a long cigarette that's long on flavor. Yes, Pell-Mell's natural mildness means just one thing: smooth, pleasing flavor. Flavor that's blended in, over, under, around, and through to bring you satisfying flavor, particularly good.
The flavors blended over, under, around, and through to bring that particular good taste to you. So get particular pleasure like particular people do in the good taste of Pell-Mell.
Be particular. Buy Pell-Mell Famous Cigarettes. Outstanding. And they are mine from the American Tobacco Company.